Today's date is August 10th, 2014. Today, the whole family and I had decided to go out and catch some trains at Duval Road. Here we see a southbound CSX coal train, probably headed for the mines in West Virginia. After this train left, we decided to head home and call it a day. Oh well, I hope you like this. Wait, what? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. Well, anyway, looks like this is not the end of the video. Turns out we go to Cumberland, Maryland, to catch the Western Maryland Scenic Railway. As the end of the coal train runs on by, let's now go to Cumberland, Maryland, to begin our trip across the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. Now the date is August 16th, 2014. We are looking out our hotel window to see some CSX coal cars and a CSX train running towards Cumberland Yards. You can't really hear it since we're behind a window. Right now, we are in the Fairfield Inn and Suites, Cumberland. The 4th floor is the best place to catch trains. Since the Western Maryland Scenic Train didn't leave till 11 o'clock, we decided to go explore around town. We ended up finding the Cumberland shops in Cumberland, Maryland. CSX Transportations owns these shops. Here, they use them to repair and rebuild or repaint their locomotives and rolling stock. At the Roundhouse, there's an impressive display of diesels there. While we were at the Cumberland shops, we saw an old friend of ours, locomotive number 19. Number 19 was featured in episode 2 of this series. If you're ever hired by CSX, this is probably the place where you'll be taken to. Here they train you on how to operate their railroad, drive their locomotives, how to switch certain points, how to direct trains on a, main line, all that cool stuff. While we were in a parking lot, I caught CSX 8617 and 2431 shunting the yard. CSX 8617 is an SD50 built for the former Seaboard system before coming to CSX. CSX 2431 is an SD40-2 built by EMD. It first worked for the Louisville and Nashville Railroad as its 1271. Then it became part of the Seaboard system as its 8174 before coming to CSX as 2431. While we were driving around in Cumberland, we happened to run across a nice train store. It's called BBR Hobby Corner. It's a very cool train store, and if you're ever in town, you should take a look. This is what I bought from the train store. It's really cool. Then we happened to catch this train at the Amtrak station. We didn't stay long because, well, our Western Maryland train was due to leave soon. Well, come in and pick us up anyway. Soon we arrived at the former Western Maryland Station, where we will catch our scenic train. At the head of our train is Western Maryland number 734, a consolidation type. Western Maryland 734 used to be Lake Superior and Ishpeming 34. Western Maryland 734 is an impressive sight to behold. No wonder they call her Mountain Thunder. Soon it was time to board our train, bound for Frostburg, Maryland. The best place to catch the train, well at least to see the steam engine on board the train, is the coach car named Man o' War. It provides a great vantage point to see the steam engine as it rounds large bends and curves.
Today will take us west from downtown Cumberland through a natural cut in the mountains known as the Narrows, around Horseshoe Curve, over bridges, and through a tunnel. We will glide past scenic ridges, valleys.
Now I think it's time to do a little bit of history of the locomotive up front, Western Maryland 734. As you already know, Western Maryland 734 used to be known as Lake Superior and Ishpeming No. 34. She was built in 1916 by Baldwin Locomotive Works. She had 3 sister locomotives as well, Lake Superior and Ishpeming No. 33, 35, and 36. They all worked happily on the Lake Superior and Ishpeming Railroad. She continued to work for the Lake Superior and Ishpeming Railroad at least until 1956, when she was retired. We were entering into the Narrows, and we all of a sudden saw the CP train headed in towards Cumberland, Maryland. All 4 locomotives worked at a place called Marquette, Michigan. After being retired, she was put on a siding called Marquette Deadline. That's where all 4 locomotives sat, at least till 1971, when number 34 and 35 were both purchased for the Illinois Railroad Museum. As soon as they both got to the Illinois Railroad Museum, that's where they both sat until 1992. That's when locomotive number 34 was purchased by the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad for restoration. It only took 1 year to restore Lake Superior and Ishpeming No. 34 into Western Maryland 734. While she was being rebuilt at the time, she had some interesting things added to her. The boiler pressure was raised to 200 psi, and she also acquired a tender from former New York Central Mohawk No. 2662. Unfortunately, Mohawk locomotive number 2662 is no longer with us. Lake Superior and Ishpeming number 35 is still on display at the Illinois Railroad Museum. Don't know if it'll ever operate again, but still looks good at the museum. Unfortunately, as far as I know, Lake Superior and Ishpeming number 36 has been scrapped. Shame. Things are much happier for Lake Superior and Ishpeming number 33. LS&I number 33 was restored by the Aegis Steam Roundhouse in Sugar Creek, Ohio. As far as I know, Lake Superior and Ishpeming number 33 has not done any excursion trains yet. I hope they do some soon with the locomotive, because it looks like a very fine piece of equipment to operate. Now we are approaching Helmstetter's Curve. Helmstetter's Curve was completed in the early 20th century by the Western Maryland Railway. It used to be part of the Connellsville subdivision, which ran from Cumberland, Maryland to Connellsville, Pennsylvania on the Western Maryland. Here we get a great shot of Western Maryland 734 from the coaches. Now we are approaching Brush Tunnel. Brush Tunnel was built in 1911 for the Western Maryland Railway. The length of the tunnel from portal to portal is 914 feet long. Brush Tunnel is the only tunnel we will encounter on our trip.
Oh, we're here in Brush Tunnel. Oh, that's the tunnel. That'll be cool. Here in Brush Tunnel.
Now we exit Brush Tunnel and on to what the locals call Hillside. Hillside used to be the place where you could see the Western Maryland and the Cumberland and Pennsylvania in the Jennings Valley.
I'm gonna go back in when the second you come. Hey, but there's a good shot coming up, I think. Good shot coming up with the train.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, bet. Oh shoot, another good spot. Can't wait for the journey back, though.
Crap, we should've went up there.
Oh well. Hey, is the conductor coming, brother?
I don't know.
Check the window.
You're right, maybe I got it.
Hold on a second, brother. Ain't this beautiful?
Now we are at Sunnyside. It was once called Black. This place once had a water tower and 2-mile-long passing sidings. Now it's just one track running through, with the bicycle path on the side.
I wish I had my safety glasses. I hope I don't kill myself. I'm coming down on the way.
Stopping?
I don't think so. They're still moving.
Now we are entering into Wilcox Hollow. Wilcox Hollow is another one of those horseshoe curve type views. The curve provides advantages for both the photographer and videographer to get excellent shots of the train as it goes around the curve.
Hey, we're going on for tonight. Actually, I don't think we're on for tonight. Nope, we're not. We're just on curve. Let's stay here. Oh, really?
As we continue on our way, we came across what appeared to be some abandoned railroad sidings.
I think I have to do this.
There's collection.
Look, second track.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Hoping that clearing comes up.
Yeah.
Not the clearing I wanted. Look, equipment.
On this abandoned siding is what appears to be a piece of railroad equipment.
Might want to keep your arm in, brother.
It said on the side it belonged to CSX, but I think it belongs now to the Western Maryland.
There's a snowplow.
Now we are at switch number 9. This is where we will depart the Western Maryland Railway and go on to the Cumberland and Pennsylvania Railroad line all the way to Frostburg, Maryland. We will cross the former Western Maryland 2 more times before reaching Frostburg, Maryland.
Yeah, we just did now. Now we're on the CNT. Cool. We're about to cross the old Western Maryland again, brother. Go ahead, I'm sorry. This is where the old Western Maryland is. When the train crosses this final bridge, we're going to head back to the coast, alright? Watch out, branches. Don't want to lose your camera up here. Once we lose it here, you can't come down back. We're not near the trail no more.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's going to be broken anyway.
Oh, look. Alright, we should start getting back.
Now we have arrived in Frostburg, Maryland. The Frostburg Depot is a beautiful ornate building built in 1891 by the Cumberland and Pennsylvania Railroad. Inside the building, they have some cool models on display here.
Excuse us. Oh, sorry.
Unfortunately, we didn't catch 734 turning around on the turntable. But don't worry, next day we come back up here to catch it and see it turn around on the turntable. Since we were coming back the next day, I decided to scout around to see if there's a good location to catch the locomotive turning around on the turntable. Right across the road from the depot, and right beside the turntable, is the Carriage Museum. The museum has a wide variety of buggies and carriages that people used to ride in. If you think about it, this probably must have been the, well, modern day car for people back during that age.
This is the cars in the back days. I tell the kids, this is the cars in the old days. Yep. Right here. Yep.
After visiting the Carriage Museum, we decided to head up into Frostburg itself. Cumberland is a really nice town. If you ever come here by the Western Maryland Scenic Railway, or if you're driving on through, you will have a great experience here. There's lots of good restaurants and old historic buildings in downtown Frostburg. After getting some more shots of 734 on the turntable, I noticed that there was an old abandoned tunnel right behind the turntable.
There's a tunnel back there.
While we were there, some really cool old cars came driving by as they went towards Frostburg, Maryland. Unlike their regular excursions, today's train was just a little longer than usual.
I went over here to get away from this.
So, Western Maryland 501 was going to pull us back to Cumberland, while 734 was going to follow close behind.
Oh yeah, we did have more time, but...
Frequently, when we have a heavy train, we need a helper to assist the locomotive. Today we're carrying 10 passenger cars. And since the siding in Frostburg is not long enough to run the locomotive around this many, you may have noticed that 501 is pulling us back to Cumberland. 734 will follow about 10 to 15 minutes behind us. All of our passengers are reminded that we do have an open area on our train today, and that's the mail compartment of car 726, which is the sixth car behind the engine. There, you can take pictures and enjoy the sights, smells, and sounds of today's journey. Don't forget about the snack bar, car 112, which is now the fourth car behind the engine. There's still plenty of snacks
One of the
and
nicest routes, the nicest trains I've ridden on. But it's the worst.
We here at the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad hope that our passengers aboard our first-class cars are having an enjoyable experience with us today, and hope your meal is to your liking. Greta's Kitchen provides our catering, and we'd like to thank them for their hard work.
Now let's talk about the locomotive who's pulling us back to Cumberland, Maryland. Western Maryland number 501. Western Maryland number 501 is an EMD GP30 type diesel built in 1963. She first worked for the Pennsylvania Railroad as 2249. Then when Penn Central started up, she worked for them. Then, after the fiasco that was known as Penn Central, she then worked for Conrail. Finally, the Western Maryland Scenic Railway purchased her, then gave to her a new Western Maryland paint scheme and her new number. She's been working here ever since. Now we are departing the old CMP and getting back on the old Western Maryland main line.
What? Thanks. Probably a good shot coming your way. What? Up on your end.
Now we are going to enter Brush Tunnel from the opposite end of the railroad. After exiting Brush Tunnel, we then proceed on to Helmstetter's Curve.
Oh, look at that.
I'd love to live by.
Now we are re-entering the Cumberland Narrows.
Look at this view.
Yeah, look at the river.
Look, you can see the main line over there.
And look, you can see the river.
Okay, Jim, so here's the plan. We're gonna get off, we're gonna get ahead of everyone else as soon as, the train comes out of there. That way we all can get to the train. See on the steamer coming in. Yep, these are the Narrows. Brother, are you sure you don't want to come over here?
I'm actually not sure. And
Now we are leaving the Narrows and coming back to Cumberland, Maryland. We got off the train as fast as we could so we can film 734 chuffing around.
All aboard! Here it comes.
Seven 34 was being coupled behind so it could join 501 on its way back to the yard. It turns out while we were out on the excursion train, somebody, I don't know who, was walking on the bridge leading into West Virginia for the Western Maryland and somehow managed to make a little fire happen on it. Don't worry, the fire was put out, and it was on the other track so the train could cross on the opposite end. After exploring the area, we decided to go across the river and into West Virginia to try to see Western Maryland 734 and Chesapeake and Ohio 1309.
No trespassing.
C&O number 1309 was purchased from the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore, Maryland to be restored by the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad for excursion service alongside 734. They hope to get the engine running by the 2016 excursion season. Well, when you visit Cumberland, you can't just miss the sand patch grade. We decided to chase this CSX freight train up the sand patch, but while we were going up, another CSX train was heading down. But we decided to bypass it and catch the other one at this grade crossing. Here's a tip about afternoon rail fanning, folks. Whatever you do, don't point your camera into the sun. That just ruins it, as you just saw there. We are right now at Fairhope, Pennsylvania, on the old B&O Railway main line. The residents of Fairhope had built a little viewing platform atop of a little cliff overlooking the main line. After seeing the town of Fairhope, Pennsylvania, we then drove on to the small town of Hidman, Pennsylvania. There are no train action here, but we decided to go see the tracks just in case. Unfortunately, we were right, so we drove back to Cumberland to sleep in the hotel to get ready for the next day.
I guess there's a caboose down there.
Now the date is August 17th, 2014. Out Down behind the Fairfield Inn is the canal boat, the Cumberland. The Cumberland is just a replica built to the specifications of the old canal boats that were ran even before the steam engine in general was invented. Heck, these things were pulled by old mules back in the olden days. Today's plan was to chase 734 from Cumberland all the way to Frostburg, Maryland. We begin the chase by going to the old historic Western Maryland Depot in Cumberland, Maryland. The historic building was constructed in 1913 for the Western Maryland Railway. It stayed under the ownership of the Western Maryland until it was merged into the Chesapeake system. Then the Chesapeake system shut down operations in the building in 1976. It slowly fell into disrepair until the city of Cumberland purchased it. Then in 1996, it was fully restored for both the Western Maryland Scenic Railway and the C&O Canal National Park Service. Then we drove across the river to see what was going on in the Western Maryland Scenic Rail Yard. Western Maryland 734 was getting ready for its excursion train today. I was also interested in this white diesel locomotive that was there too. I didn't know what kind it was. After seeing the yard, we quickly drove back to the Western Maryland Depot to catch Western Maryland 734 pulling in.
Oh, Dad, I see it! I see it! You see it, Dad? It's coming! Woo! Woo! Like right here on the soda. Yeah, it's coming pretty cold. And we're gonna go way past it.
Well, I'm not sure if we. Well,
There is
probably the
something
time.
interesting
Hold on a second.
on Western Maryland number 1906. There appears to be a small generator attached to the bogie of Western Maryland number 1906. Soon Western Maryland number 734 was getting ready to go into the Allegheny Mountains towards Frostburg, Maryland. Today's train consists of 7 coach cars: the Pennsylvanian, a former Norfolk and Western coach car, number 107. The Allegheny, also another former Norfolk and Western coach car, number 540. Man o' War, a former Central of Georgia Railroad, 726. The Cumberland, 87-6. Former Norfolk and Western coach car, number 112. And WMSR 1365, along with the 1906. Before we left Cumberland, we decided to go and visit the C&O Canal National Historical Park Visitor Center. They have tons of artifacts on display here. If you ever get a chance to see this place, don't miss it. You'll have a great time here.
This must be how the inner sides of the boat look like.
As we were leaving Cumberland, Maryland, we caught a CSX freight train headed into the Cumberland Narrows. There was a special treat on this train today. There was an old-fashioned C&O boxcar on board this train today. Unfortunately, I stopped recording just as the boxcar ran on by. I quickly restarted recording again in hopes that another one would be on board this train, but alas, there was none. As soon as the train ran on through, we decided to head towards Helmstetter's Curve to catch 734 going around it. As soon as the train left, we then started off for Frostburg. On the way there, I saw a sign saying Chesapeake Federal Credit Union. Turns out this company used to be part of the Chesapeake system, but now they're their own company. Then we arrived in Frostburg. The area around the station was quiet and peaceful. Not a whole lot of people were here at the moment, so we took the advantage and set it up for the train's arrival. Then the train arrived in Frostburg. As soon as the train came to a halt, we decided to change camera positions to catch it going onto the turntable. We were on top of one of the many perches they built over the turntable.
Some guys with six carpets and trees telling them how that's no good, you know? That's what filters come to. They fail to realize it.
After they got 734 onto the turntable, they started spinning 734 around. A couple of people were invited onto the turntable to take a ride with 734 around. As soon as 734 was done turning around, I quickly decided to go to the opposite end of the station to catch it going onto its train, but as I was doing it, 734 started off towards that end. so I quickly stopped and started filming it. As soon as I got to the back of the station, well, the opposite end, 734 was coupling to the rear of the passenger train so it can take its passengers back to Cumberland, Maryland. As soon as 734 was done coupling up, I went over to the Trails Inn to have lunch. It's a very nice place and has great food there too. I didn't sleep there overnight, but it still looks like a very cool place to go. After having lunch, we drove from Frostburg, Maryland, all the way to Altoona, PA, to see Helmstetter's Curve's big brother, the Horseshoe Curve.
There it goes.
I gotta say, I loved Cumberland, but I also love Pennsylvania's Horseshoe Curve. It's great to be back here again. Soon we got to see the Pennsylvanian Railroad number 7048, and also all the little control boxes that are here. We decided while we were waiting for a train to ride a funicular down the hill. Unfortunately, the next train wouldn't have been leaving uphill for 30 minutes, so we decided to hoof it back up to the top of the Horseshoe Curve instead of taking the tram back up.
So, dude,
What?
I really wonder, how does this thing turn?
Follows the tracks right there. I mean, I think we're look, it's attached to one line, and I think we're attached to another, and we get pulled along with it. What?
It sounds the same to me. It doesn't even sound.
Then we're gonna have to go straight back up those steps
This
again.
is so much better than going up those steps.
Yeah, but the problem is we're gonna have to go back up on
I
them.
know. It's like there's a guy who's sleeping on the job
Oh, he operates on every whatever minutes.
every 30 minutes.
As soon as we got back to the top of the Horseshoe Curve, our first train came. It was an eastbound Norfolk Southern Triple Crown train heading around the curve. As soon as the Triple Crown train left the Horseshoe Curve, it was all quiet and peaceful. Then, I saw this bunny rabbit inside the area where we were filming. So I decided to film it as boredom commenced. As soon as I was done with the bunny, I then filmed the funicular going downhill. I was still a little bored, so I was glad that this was happening in the middle of it. Soon boredom turned into excitedness as another eastbound Altoona train came across the Horseshoe Curve. the Autorack train left the Horseshoe Curve, we left to go to one final stop on our trip, Gallitzin, to see the world-famous Gallitzin Tunnels. We have read off of a schedule they had there, and Amtrak's Pennsylvanian would be arriving there in a few minutes. So we decided to go to the Gallitzin Tunnels to make that our last train of the trip.
Alright, this is it.
Recording.
As soon as Amtrak's Pennsylvanian rounded a bend, it ended our trip there. Soon we started heading home to Great Ohio. We had a fun time on this trip. I really loved the Western Maryland steam train. Can't wait to go back there again sometime. And just so you know, that's actually my model train. We weren't chasing that one. And on that note, I hope you have a great day, and see you later.